Hello, Amelia Hirschfield here. So I wanted to give an example of the biggest opportunity connector that I made thus far in my life on Earth. And it's not, I wouldn't say that it's necessarily a career thing. It's just part of who I am. I'm someone who can find solutions and see solutions quite quickly to problems. So some people can come to me and figure out what do I want to do with this, and I can help them navigate that. So, and this is, I'm going to talk about something, and this is going to be a bit political, but it's not really, the purpose of this isn't a political thing. It's more about the supply and the demand of the situation. So right when COVID hit, and like 3 weeks after COVID actually came to the US, so back in 2020, everything was starting to shut down. The restaurants were closing, the bars were closing. The economy here in the US was starting to shut down. And a business came to me because they were doing promotional products that usually was like apparel, pens, backpacks, mugs, the traditional apparel. And they'd been doing that for a while, but they were starting to get notifications from people that they had access to KN95 masks. And at the time, no one really had access to KN95 masks here in the United States. And this person was talking to their employees, they were talking to the business partner, and they were all saying like, no, we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't give access to people, or we shouldn't profit off this. We shouldn't do, we shouldn't, we just need to leave this alone. And the person came to me and they're like, what do you think about this? And I saw it as actually a really good opportunity that they could help a lot of people by giving masks to people that couldn't get access to them. And they could also help themselves by pivoting into this direction and seeing if they wanted to continue to go there. So I teamed up with them for a while. We were contacting hospitals, we were contacting schools, we were contacting several different options and saying like, hey, we have masks. So we were able to help out a lot of people who were needing it, and at the same time able to make their biggest one-time sale ever in their business to the state of Kansas. They bought 1 million masks, which was like $2.4 million. And there were challenges along the way of them the mask having to get through customs, the shipping rates changing because that was a pain, that was changing so quickly, the different time periods that was coming out because they were having to make them in different time periods. So that it wasn't exactly easy, and it was a risk, but it definitely paid off in them helping to supply the state of Kansas with the resources that they were needing, and at the same time helping themselves help the state of Kansas. And they gave them the lowest bid by far out of anyone that they got bids from. So they were able to help the state of Kansas, help themselves, make their biggest one-time sale. And if they would have said no, they would have, not been able to stretch in that way, and also not given their employees so many, like, really keep their employees going during that time, because they definitely needed help from that. So it was a win across the board. And it's just one example of like a pivot that was really within their wheelhouse, and how they could have helped themselves and other people by doing that. And so that is probably the biggest pivot win that I've done so far working with clients as of the date of this video that I'm recording. But at this, I think that's it. So yeah, it's just one example of how people can take opportunities even when the economy was shutting down. Everyone didn't know what was going on. There was a lot of fear going around. How you can take an opportunity and make your business do well, even when everyone else is freaked out and everyone's terrified around you. So, because usually so many people are afraid of like when the economy goes down, my business is going to go down, rather than looking at like what options are here, even when the economy is not doing well, because there's always options. And in fact, I think there's more options because everyone's freaked out about it. It's just figuring out, how do I find that and what directions can I pivot in a way that makes sense for me and the business and the history of the business that I have going on so far. So yeah, that was fun. I don't talk about it all that often, but yeah, it was very interesting to work on and quite fun to see how you can create opportunity even when everyone's freaked out. So I will see you on the next video.